Welcome back everybody to this best of 5 between TNC and Execration for the MPGL, the Mineski Pro Gaming League Class S. This is the playoffs, of course, so you lose, you are out. There's no double elimination or nothing, just a bubble race format, so to say. Whereas Click and Search already awaiting the winner of this one, and then the Mineski waiting for the winner of Click and Search versus the winner of this particular game here. But we're HeflaTV, your English coverage. I'm Couchor, once again, gonna be joined by Daneliecasts. Do you think Execration, can they carry the momentum and just take game number 2 as well, or will TNC just get one of their own? Or we don't have Danny yet? Danny, please! Okay, Danelie
I'm
is coming
sorry,
in.
I had mic problems. Oh my god. I'm sorry. But I feel like both of these teams, they can be relatively even. If Execration can do what they did last game, keep up the momentum, put lots of aggression onto TNC, then they can take the game. Whereas TNC, they're a strong team themselves. They've been taking the C scene by storm. They've beaten top tier Southeast Asian teams, so I'm going to say that it's even. I'm going to give both teams a chance. TNC can win a game if they can get it in their favor, whereas Execration, it's pretty much the same. If any of these teams gain momentum, I feel that they could both just snowball with it.
I guess that is true enough, but TNC for now, we see one change in the bans already. Undying banned out as the first one.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, I feel like last game the Undying wasn't really a main factor that made Execration snowball. It was just the fact that TNC, they couldn't really shut down the Weaver. The Wind Ranger had mostly free reign as well. And the Undying was just there for the team fights. And yeah, I guess it's just to get rid of a small factor that can just pretty much fit into any draft. It's okay. It's TNC. They just don't want that Undying now.
So if you're Execration now, do you know like if they have any other strat to so-called rely upon, or
Execration or TNC?
Execration? I mean, now that they don't have the Undying, they're bound to just forced to even switch things out.
I don't actually cast a lot of Execration, so draft-wise, I can't really say what they would consistently draft. So unfortunately, I can't really answer the question. But TNC, they always draft around aggression. But last game, there was you could see it. TNC, there was just no aggression from their side onto Execration. So Queen of Pain, a step in the right direction, momentum-based mid hero that they can fall back onto, or possibly even safe lane or off lane, more or less depending on what they want from the Queen of Pain. But Execration, they're going to counterpick with a Leshrac. Again, a strong mid laner as well. Queen of Pain and Leshrac is a one-on-one. Who do you think would typically win? Do you think the Leshrac would or the Queen of Pain?
I probably favor the Leshrac even if it's anyone you want like that. Given that like there's no support help or anything. Of course, a little bit is gonna come down to like who gets the better bottle refills, so to say, like who has the supports helping out with room control and whatnot. But Queen of Pain does have the increased benefit of having Blink to go for those runes, just snatch them away from Leshrac.
Wow. This gyrocopter pick from TNC. I'm surprised he actually made it through the bans, but looks like we're going to see a gyro, whereas Execration, they're going to snatch the bristleback themselves for this game. So essentially, they have their offlaner, and you could say, have a mid laner with the Leshrac, depending on whether it's going to be a support or a core. Whereas TNC, they've locked in two cores as well, Queen of Pain and Gyro. But you have some late game potential already for TNC in that gyrocopter, and then you have that early game for the Queen of Pain. What kind of supports would you like to see from TNC? No Earthshaker and no Wisp. What other options do you think we're going to be seeing this game? Could we see a Witch Doctor maybe?
I mean, it's a possibility to be honest. I wouldn't mind Rubik because I think Rubik in general is like maybe not the best support at all times, but it's just never going to be a bad support at the same time. Just like stealing Splitter, for example, having Splitter, especially when it's maxed out, has the max just range to it or max radius to it. Just casting it with no delay is such a huge bonus in a team fight like that, or well, even for ganks and whatnot. So I think Rubik could be the one, but Execration, since they banned out the Disruptor, huh? Do they want to go for like a Storm Spirit now, or what hero is most afraid of a Disruptor?
Normally, it's actually a Wisp combination. Storm Spirit would be a notable one as well. Maybe they could go for Nature's Prophet. That's probably one of the only other heroes I could really think that would be afraid of a Disruptor. If you don't want to just think about the Glimpse, Disruptor would be pretty good for TNC because they already have a lot of nuke damage from that Queen of Pain and a Gyrocopter. And if TNC can get a hero to set up the kinetic field into static storm combo, it can actually wreck Execration's heroes. So, for example, if TNC and Execration have a team fight, just glimpse back the Leshrac and pick him off. That is a big and easy kill for TNC. The same could be said if Execration pick up a Disruptor, but we're not going to see it this game. Interesting ban from TNC, a Shadow Demon. Very defensive support, and Execration going to finish it up with a Bounty Hunter ban.
Yeah, just Bounty Hunter. I guess it can work out if you get that early level 6, but oh, you were so spot on, Danny. It is gonna be the Witch Doctor for
Yay!
TNC. How did you know?
I'm
Wow.
psychic.
Wow. You see,
I'm a psychic type.
did you see the Razor coming though? And be honest.
No, I actually did not see the Razor pick. I only mentioned the Witch Doctor pick because I felt like TNC was going to pick it because they already have a lot of team fight. And you look at TNC, now they have these heroes, they got a lot of team fight. Oh god, this Winter Wyvern pick. I love this pick from TNC. We're going to see the Winter Wyvern. This is pretty much going to shut down their Bristleback and the Razor, so any targets that they jump on, they cannot burst down the heroes if they're just going to be shut down in the Icy Cocoon. And the Winter's Curse, look at Execration's draft. They have a lot of ranged heroes so far, and they've got that Bristleback in the mid. There's a chance that they're going to clump up, and we're probably going to see dead Rubiks or Leshracs just because of the Winter's Curse.
Gonna be some fun times for sure with that hero, and I must admit, it is my first time casting that hero, so gonna be a new experience for me as well. But last bans now, Timbersaw to be removed by Execration, whereas TNC have chosen to ban out the Phantom Lancer instead. So just don't want to deal with the illusions, I suppose. Although I have to say they would have had a pretty nice lineup to deal with those illusions.
Yeah, they don't really have anything at all, actually, to deal with illusions. Oh, I guess you have the Flat Cannon, but that's about
And
it. And maybe
plus, you
Queen
go
of Pain
Aghanims, you
Scream.
have a Sonic Wave, easiest way to deal with illusions.
But do you really want to use a Sonic Wave to clear illusions?
You,
If there's a
you
team
just have to
fight,
angle it so that it also hits heroes at the same time. Easy!
easy. It's okay, easy. In theory, it's easy. In execution, it's hard. But the Timbersaw ban from Execration, really nice ban as well. Execration just don't have anything to control a Timbersaw. So typically, TNC, they need one more core. It could be an off lane, it could be a mid, it could be a safe lane. They can actually, no, not safe lane, because Gyrocopter's safe lane. So mid or off lane, probably going to be an off lane for TNC, whereas Execration, they've pretty much got either 2 cores and 2 supports, or 3 cores and 1 support. So they're pretty open with what they want so far. So we'll see what Execration wants to finish their draft off with. I would like to see another disable. A disable or a slow, or some sort of control, because they don't actually have that much to control the Queen of Pain, aside from that Rubik setup with the lift.
I have to say, I didn't listen to almost anything because I have to add a Gigabyte logo here. Just because, well, this is sponsored
Oh
by Gigabyte
no!
after all. So
Yay, Gigabyte!
I was getting info and downloading the image and whatnot, so sorry, but I missed most of what you said.
That's okay. So Execration, this is going to definitely be a support Leshrac this game. So Leshrac Rubik combo, pretty nice. Lots of nuke from Leshrac, and you have the Rubik setup. Puck is there for the control. So I said this just now. Execration needed some sort of control, and Puck is one of the best heroes to do that. You have the Dream Coil, the Silence, and you're very elusive too. And TNC actually don't have that much disable to lock down a Puck. So they should be able to get away with the Puck initiation. TNC, their last pick, I presume it's going to be an offlaner, and I would like something that on the side, on the tankier side, to just survive through the team fight. Maybe even something with a disable, possibly a Centaur War Runner, because Execration, they don't have too much disable aside from Puck and Rubik, so they could get away with the Centaur Stampede. Phoenix is still in the pool. Execration actually don't have that much to really hit a Phoenix Egg. Yes, they're ranged, but they don't have attack speed. So we could see a Phoenix.
Yeah, neither of those would be bad, although I have to say I would rather like even a Centaur at the moment. He may not have the easiest time in lane, but like you mentioned, there's not that much to like stop a Stampede from happening, for example. Also, usually Leshrac, definitely annoying with the Lightning Storm, also just applying the slow, of course, but if you're stampeded, you don't care about it in the slightest. I would like to see it, but that hero just isn't what teams like to go for.
No, he's not popular. Actually, TNC could probably aggressive tri-lane, and they can put something in the safe lane. Because you have Winter Wyvern and Witch Doctor both ranged heroes. You have the startup slow with the Arctic Burn. Witch Doctor, what? I was not expecting an Ursa.
Like what? That's just jaw dropping for me at the moment. It's like you're going up against a Razor. Well, I suppose an Ursa isn't a hero that cares that much about his like normal damage being stolen, just because he's gonna have the overpower to deal most of it, or the Fury swipes rather. Excuse me. But even then, I mean, it's maybe not the best thing to go for. Like Bristleback throws one nasal goo on you and suddenly you're slowed down. You're gonna get kited around like Puck, Dream Coil, even the Leshrax, Lightning Storm. But then again, TNC, easy Roshians for them with that hero, for example. And once you get the BKB, how much can Execration actually do to him?
They can actually do quite a bit with the Bristleback and the Razor, more or less depending on their farm. But I really don't like this Ursa pick. What is Ursa's main problem? The problem with Ursa is he has no gap closer. If he wants to close the gap, he has to be within 385 radius of them to throw the Earth Shock, and that's his only way to catch onto the target. When you look at Execration's heroes, they have a Lightning Storm as well as a Split Earth from the Leshrac. You have the Lift from the Rubik. You have a Puck who's going to be there with the Dream Coil. You have Nasal Goo from a Bristleback, and you also have a Razor who he can just steal the Earth's damage. So what can an Ursa really do in the fight? If you can get early Blink Dagger, then maybe Teehee can snowball from that point, but he's going to have a lot of trouble just getting to his targets as an Ursa.
Well, they might find the target. Fox, he got just enough distance. They get the Telekinesis Split Earth to follow as well, but do they have enough follow-up? Plasma Field comes out. He's just trying to run at them. Paralyzing Casto Burden. He's gonna go down. I'm almost certain of it. One more swipe. There's the Earthshock, lands onto 3. Gnoichi comes in as well with the Rocket Barrage. Can they get some more? As he's just gonna outrun everybody else. Winter Wyvern gets away, and that's gonna be Fox going down on top of it.
That was a really nice play from the Winter Wyvern, just popping the Arctic Burn onto the Rubik to slow him down. But the team fight's still happening, and it's 25 minutes till the game starts. So TNC, they're just gonna have to retreat. They're just going way too deep. Did they actually TP a hero just now? I swear they did. Yes, they TP'd the Bristleback because he died. That is an extra 100 gold taken out of that Bristleback's basically his bank account. That's massive.
Yeah, it's safe to say that it was a pretty bad start for them at the moment. I mean, they really did try their best, and to be honest, I really thought that they can kill the Winter Wyvern faster, but he's a rather tanky hero, not armor-wise, but just the base health pool is definitely up there, 625 with only one branch in the inventory. So that just helped him survive, and of course, usually if you run like a Leshrac Ruby combination, the thing you want to avoid is throwing anybody with a telekinesis in any way. You just want to lift him up and put him down on the same place just for a Split Earth to land. But oh, mid lane, Nando taking a huge amount of damage. One more attack, he's gonna be forced to back out. But Ursa versus Puck, man, not a matchup I have seen maybe ever.
I feel like the only reason they put him mid is because he's at one level ahead of the Puck. And the fact that Nando doesn't even have phase shift at level 1, it really hurts him as a Puck. He just has to save up for the illusionary orb, and if he uses it to farm, then it's troublesome. He is level 2 now, so phase shift is going to be there for Nando, but I don't know if that's going to really help him that much in a Ursa matchup. If Teehee plays it right, if he can get that farm, that's pretty much his job done in the mid lane. The Puck, on the other hand, he has to either shut down Teehee or get a really fast Blink Dagger.
Oh man, it's definitely a tough start for Execration, but I mean, it's not that troublesome as long as they can just catch up in levels, get some farm. Although mid lane Nando might be in trouble, does use the phase shift. He does get the Earthshock, a few more attacks, shoot to the trick, never mind. Illusionary was still there for the Puck, so gets away. So even with AO rotating in, they do not manage to get the kill. So Execration, as long as like Puck can farm up a reasonably fast Blink Dagger, for example, That's probably going to be one of the key things that Execration should look for. Just getting the blink, getting the initiation. Just because otherwise, their only way is to just run in with the bristleback.
Yeah, that really is the only way for them to go into the fights. So let's take a look at the other lanes aside from that mid lane. We have Burden up top on the Bristleback up against Noji as well as Seven. And he's doing okay. He's actually getting a little bit of CS, and unfortunately Witch Doctor can't bully out a Bristleback out of a lane by himself. So Burden, even though he gave away First Blood, he's doing okay. Whereas Sam H on this Queen of Pain. How sad are you as a Queen of Pain to only have
Probably not as
one
sad
CS?
as the Leshrac in the last game.
Yeah, probably. He actually played the Leshrac? No, G played on the Leshrac last game, so I think he feels good to have farm this game. Sam H is the one struggling.
Yeah, but it's not that bad. I mean, you're level 3 before 3 minutes, and of course Primo will definitely have the upper hand here, but the support's already rotating around, dealing with some illusions there. But those illusions also did scout out where Fox and Chemo were positioned. So it shouldn't come as a surprise if they just suddenly show up in the mid or the top lane. But what do you think of this like dual mid lane from TNC? Is it worth it to just have AO hang around here and just kind of soak XP from the Ursa? Or is it necessary for the Ursa to just continuously keep on getting farm?
I think it's just to pretty much make sure that Teehee is always going to constantly be farmed and that Nando won't attempt to go for a solo kill on the Teehee because he knows there's going to be 2 heroes. And Puck being the squishy hero he is ranged, but you're going up against a Winter Wyvern with the Arctic Burn, and that's a lot of movement speed taken away from a Puck. So if Teehee can just jump onto him and there's no phase shift or an illusionary orb, Nando's gone for.
Oh, bottom lane though. Primo taking quite a bit of harassment, did get the slow on him, and AO just goes in with the attacks. Of course, if you look at the attack damage of the Wyvern, not that high, 46 only, but even so, Primo did take quite a bit of harassment from just that one support.
You would actually be surprised how much Arctic Burn does, especially when you hit a target from 100%. It's always going to be, I think it was somewhere along the lines of 20% of their total HP. So 15%. It was actually quite a bit of damage from full because it's even its magical damage. It's quite a bit, I think. I forgot how much it is. I'm not smart, so if someone can find the actual calculation.
Don't be so harsh on yourself, Danny. Oh, Noji though might be in trouble. Splitter was used. They get the lightning storm to get the additional slow, but 7 was around, had the voodoo restoration. Even though it's level 1, it's still quite nice. Although Fox and Chemo now under the Maledict, which well also being level 1, not that massive, but just a bit of harassment traded back and forth in the top lane.
This is a 2 support. Was it 2? Yeah, both supports actually rotated up into that top lane, and the fact that they came up here, tried to go for a kill and got nothing, it's essentially the time wasted to Chemo. So they have to make a decision: do they hang up here and actually get Burden that farm, or do they rotate elsewhere? Chemo's actually pretty low, and 7's in the tree line, so I feel like TNC wants to make a go here. This is 2 heroes going into 3 though. We'll see if this actually pays off.
Oh, Razor might go down. Sam H has the blink in a couple of seconds if they even need it. Shadow Strike, is it gonna do the last tick? Nope, needed the Scream of Pain as well, but the kill is there. Top lane though, Gyrocopter gets 1 in return. Burden now, he's the one in trouble. Maledicted up. Rocket Barrage though will go into the creeps mostly, but they might still get the kill if they just get a little bit of extra damage.
There was actually a misplay on the side of Execration. They missed the follow-up stun from the Leshrac. So that's actually the only reason why they lost a hero in the process. So, bit of misplay, but unfortunately, or fortunately for Execration, they do get both heroes up in that top lane. What? Primo comes up here too, what?
Didn't like bottom lane that much. Ever since the Winter Wyvern came in, suddenly couldn't stay in lane anymore almost. So to the top lane they go! It's a party. Of course now they're probably gonna just have Burden and maybe Leshrac as well go to the bottom lane instead.
God, they just ring around the lanes at this point. Teehee, he went for the Earth Shock, does not connect to Nando. Chemo, they're going to rotate in the mid lane. No wards for TNC, so they could go for a gank onto Teehee. It's got double damage though, so if the Rubik goes anywhere near Teehee, he is going to be a Rubik Pie.
So that's a thing, a Rubik Pie. If you get killed, that's awesome. You get killed and you turn into a pie.
Exactly. Well, it's just because he gets earth shocked and, well, the Rubik. He's got a robe. There's just nothing to protect a Rubik in general. So 7, go throw some harassment to Primo. He rotated because he wanted farm, but instead he's going to give himself away to Noji. This is not a good game for Primo.
Well, at least he has farm. Well, some farm at least. Of course, he's losing quite a bit of it just due to dying like that, but it's not all that bad. Of course, Bristleback is also still struggling, 15 last hits. So all in all, TNC looking decent, but top lane, there is a smoke coming in. Oh, poor 7 on the Witch Doctor. Can he TP before? Nope, Telekinesis catches him. Split Earth to follow with the Illusion Orb as well. So they get the 1 kill, but it is only on a support.
So Primo, no success down bottom, so he TP'd up top. No success up top, TP's in mid lane. So hopefully he does a little bit better up against Teehee. But he still has to keep in mind, it's an Ursa who's level 7 and has phase boots. And Primo, he has treads, but if he just gets caught by the Ursa once, it's me turned into a pie.
So, speaking of the Ursa, with those face boots, man, is Vladimir's the next choice, or do I go for like Helm of the Dominator or something else?
He could go for Vlad's if he wants. It's just pretty much that really the cheap stuff for Teehee. The mana regen. Ursa's problem normally is mana regen, but because he's gone for a bottle, he could probably just bypass the Vlad's entirely. But Noji being chased up, there's going to be a... oh god, I forgot what that's called. Splinter Blast coming out from our Winter Wyvern, Nando. He actually phase shifted and he's found nothing. In the meantime, Gyrocopter getting a kill on the Leshrac solo, and Queen of Pain even TPs in to get the puck kill. Execration, they brought a lot of heroes into the top lane. They find nothing, and instead they lose heroes to TNC. So great stuff from TNC, recovering from the last game, whereas Execration, their rotations are not as successful as game 1.
Yeah, it's just TNC kind of being maybe a little bit more vigilant, or Execration less so. I'm not entirely sure even, but somehow TNC, they're making things work for them. Mid lane, AO, of course. I mean, I feel like this Winter Wyvern has gotten everywhere. It's just, where needed, he is there. But now 7 does have a Morbid Mask and straight into Roche Pit. They smoke as well. Even had the Overpower activated beforehand, so already came off cooldown. Just trying to make the Roche process as fast as possible, but since he has only 1 point into Fury Swipe, it's not gonna be that fast.
I'm actually going to bring 7 in as well, just for the extra heals, to make sure that Teehee's okay. And also the fact that he's staying hidden in the Smoke of Deceit is just pretty much going to help him figure out if heroes are coming nearby. And Fox, he's there. Smoke has been popped, so they know heroes are nearby. Sentry Ward deployed, Nando going to throw in the orb. Now Teehee's in there. He pops his ultimate to negate a lot of the damage from Nando. Stun is there, and 7's going to go down. Teehee, he's stuck in the Dream Coil, in the Roche Pit, going to go down to the Lightning. That's a really nice rotation from Execration. They realize Ursa's missing, and when Ursa's missing, where do you check first? The Roche Pit.
Classic throw pit. Classic. I mean, it's like, oh, our team is looking so good, what do we do? Let's try Roche. Don't have proper vision and get wrecked. Oh, Sam H. Can he get the kill on Nando though? Does get the Invis rune away from the puck as well. Might even just...
oh, Nando. He's actually in the tree line, but Sam H, he doesn't know. If Sam H knows, he could just kill the puck outright, but Chemo's going to come in just to make sure that his teammate's fine. And Nando, he's going to get out nice and safely. That was a very clustered spot there for Nando, but he's fine. So attempt number 2 from Teehee. Let's see if he gets this Roshan.
Yeah, of course this time around Overpower at least is level 2, so has that 1 extra fast swipe from that one. But this time around also Couchor gonna come in and help. No Rocket Barrage yet. Now, I think they're gonna be able to do it just because Execration, they don't have the puck close by anymore. They wouldn't have the Dream Coil even if they did. So they're gonna get the Roshan, and to be honest, even if you like lost 2 heroes on the first attempt, as long as you get the second one like shortly after, it's not even that bad.
Yeah, it really isn't. But this Roche advantage is going to be useful for TNC because it means they can be a little bit more aggressive now if they want to. I'm interested to see if they're going to save up a Blink Dagger on the Teehee or if he's going to go for other items to make him a little bit more durable. I would prefer a Blink Dagger, but maybe if he picks something else like maybe a Force Staff, or if he wants to go for something quirky, I have seen Yule Scepter Ursa's work out, so that's also another option.
Yeah, I suppose it's not that bad. You can just dodge a couple of things, you get extra movement speed as well. Oh, Noji, does he want to go? Nope. Not gonna pop the cooldown in hopes of just having the other heroes also be able to close in. But TNC, every single hero of them is on the top lane. Are they gonna go for the tier 1 or are they just gonna spread out once again and just keep on farming?
Because they have everyone up top, they may as well just go for a push. You have two other heroes on the side of TNC in the other lanes. One in the mid lane, which is Nando, who's trying to get that Blink Dagger as quick as possible, 1.4k gold. And then you have Burden on that Bristleback down bottom, who's going to finish up his Mechanism very soon. Headdress as well as Buckler on him. Just 300 more gold and that Mechanism will be online.
So do we have any other big items coming out? I don't think so yet. Noji though comes in rather aggressively. There's Tihi, but Ursa he gets telekinesis, although I think he's still gonna be able to chase down. Nope, misses the Europe Shock. Fox though in the sidelines. Not the best position, but Burden he came in. He's gonna go down, I think, as the first one, or is he? He's pretty tanky, but Maledict I think is gonna bring him down in the end. But it's 4 heroes down on TNC. Plus Aegis, well, I don't think the Aegis will help him all that much, although he's trying to go for at least one kill. He might even get it, Primo. One more attack, one more swipe, and he... No, he's gonna get telekinesis. For a second I thought he's even gonna like outrun them, but even so, it's a 4 for 1, plus it was also an Aegis lost.
That was over-aggression. That was just way too over-aggressive from TNC. And the hero that they had at the front was the Gyrocopter. They had Noji on the Gyrocopter go in front. It wasn't Tihi on the Ursa. So the fact that they lose 4 heroes and they only get 1, it's a massive win there for Execration. They saved the T1 tower, which took how much damage? 15 damage from the entire fight. 15 damage. That's very sad.
That's just absurd. And to be honest, I couldn't even guarantee that the 15 damage wasn't done before. Primo though, bottom lane, gonna go down, or is he Shadow Strike? Should, yeah, take him down. Knoji even popped the cooldown, so Primo, he TP'd in attempts to help, but he stole the Rocket Barrage. It was so hard to even understand he had the Rocket Barrage. But he gets the kill onto Queen of Pain.
That was actually quite humorous. Queen of Pain was like, okay, I'm fine. She's like, oh wait, I'm taking a lot of damage. Turns to go for a blink and it was a little bit too late, so that's very amusing.
Yeah, for a second I didn't even understand like what's damaging the Queen of Pain that much. And although look at the damage he's taking from AO. That Arctic Burn is definitely doing heaps here, Tihi. If only he had a blink. But speaking of blinks, Nando did finish his, of course, after the last fight happened. So blink, silence, waning rift. Queen of Pain has to be somewhat careful. He is going for an Orchid to try to just deal with the puck in return, but only has the first Oblivion Staff plus a Robe of the Magi, so still needs quite a bit before he gets it.
The puck is also going to be a problem for the Witch Doctor. He wants to sit in the back lines and just throw the Death Ward, but if he gets caught by the silence, that's pretty much Death Ward cancelled and your Witch Doctor rendered useless for the duration. So it's not just the Queen of Pain that's going to be worried about the puck, it's also going to be the Witch Doctor. You can even say the Winter Wyvern will be vulnerable if she's in the middle of the fight with no Arctic Burn on, because she's not going to be able to fall back to a Cold Embrace straight away. So we'll see how the puck plays. If Nando plays very smartly, he might just be the one to pretty much help their entire team disengage and re-engage in a more favourable position.
What do you even think of the Wyvern not going for a single point into the Cocoon so far? Or Cold Embrace rather?
I think just because it's early, their heroes are just not tanky enough to really make use of it. Tihi though, he's actually coming from the backlines, he's trying to go into Primo, he's lifted, he's stunned, the ultimate from the Winter Wyvern's going to be there, but look at all the damage going everywhere. 3 heroes down, Tihi looks like he might be able to wait out everything. Fox though, going to finish off the Ursa in the meantime. Burden though, trying to run away, but Noji's going to be there with the Rocket Barrage. Massive win there from TNC, they get an entire team wipe, and that was pretty much off the back of a Winter's Curse initiation. That caught 3 heroes. The main target plus 2 others were focused onto the main target, so they couldn't move.
Yeah, that was just massive, to be honest. I mean, last time around they used the Winter's Curse, I think, on the Bristleback like that, and nobody else was close enough to be affected by it. But this time around they also had a cooldown to follow up, just more or less perfect, and the thing is they didn't even use the Sonic Wave in that fight, and suddenly Sam Mage, he has his Orchid finished. I mean, I was just saying that he needs quite a bit more, but one good fight. It's a little bit similar to Puck and how he got his Blink Dagger from the good fight they had on the top side. So TNC definitely showing that if they actually like play their cards correctly, it is so easy for them to team wipe, at least for now, because there's no mech. Oh, never mind, there is a mech on the Bristleback, but I suppose they might even need a pipe after this or something.
Now we might see another team fight in the mid lane. The only reason TNC also won is because it was a small area. And Execration, they need a little bit more space. They can't really get caught in all the AoE from the side of TNC. So they're Going to make the push this time, and TNC looks like they are going to bring heroes in. They've got 4 so far. They're going to need 1 more, and that's Sam H. He's going to TP in as well. Tower's dropping pretty low. Are they going to go for a deny? There's the glyph, double damage onto the Queen of Pain. Are they going to jump in? Burden's going to be the first one there. He's got Mechanism ready, as well as all those 1 charges. There's Sonic Wave in the middle of the fight. Nando's going to go down. 3 heroes already get obliterated, and the Razor on the high ground trying to fight up against 7, so they will get a consolation kill, maybe? Maybe? Yeah, do get the kill onto the Witch Doctor, but Primo gonna have to give his life away. So again, another tragic team fight for Execration in this area. This is just a nightmare for our Radiant side.
Yeah, Execration...
And a tower deny.
Somehow they just weren't expecting this, although they should have. I'm not too sure, but it was rather obvious that TNC will probably just come in and defend. But Execration just didn't believe in it strong enough, and of course, also Queen of Pain showing off that Orchid for the first time was huge. He just blinked in, silenced Puck, and Puck literally couldn't do a single thing. Just tried to outrun, wait out the silence, but couldn't do so. And since the last 2 fights have been going that badly, Puck isn't even anywhere close to like a Yule Scepter of his own to get rid of that silence.
Oh dear, sorry, I bumped my microphone. But yeah, the fact that TNC lost 2 massive team fights, what was a even game, is suddenly tipping in favor of TNC by quite a bit. Actually, it's probably going to rise a little bit more just because the graphs are still updating. But this is going to be a very difficult game for Execration. Their draft is supposed to come online early, and it's supposed to finish the game pre-30 to 40 minutes. But the fact that they're losing a lot of the fights, they're giving items to TNC, and TNC scale much better into the late game. So it's going to be much easier with every fight for TNC to execute. Whereas Execration, their time's running out. Can they finish the game before that time limit though? They're going to try and jump onto EU, but this is a Winter Wyvern who has an Arctic Burn ready if he needs to go over the tree line, and there we go. Fogged, and he's out of there.
Yeah, a little bit too easy. Of course, Rubik not the fastest of heroes, even with boots only 340. But they really need him to go first to get the telekinesis. So a little bit unfortunate, but one thing that I have to point out is the Queen of Pain. And #1 in the net worth. I mean, the offlane wasn't the greatest, although I guess it wasn't that hard ever since the Winter Wyvern came to help out against the Razor. But still, it wasn't like a mid lane Queen of Pain, it was in the offlane, but KDA as well, 7, 1 and 7. Sam H just having a grand old time.
This is such a good game from the Queen of Pain. He's died once, 7 assists and 7 kills. So this is the best game for him, considering he did not have the best laning stage. So he's going to be pretty happy. Teehee on the Ursa has that Blink Dagger, as well as another 1.3k gold on top of that. Are there any particular items that you might be seeing on an Ursa? Do you think he might just rush a BKB straight away to get rid of all the disables?
I think BKB is kind of a must if you're up against Execration and you want to get close to somebody, or at least stay in them as well. It's not gonna be maybe the greatest BKB game, but it's definitely good enough. And oh, Fox, that's just way too easy of a kill.
He just walked around the tree line all of a sudden. Surprise birthday party! And he partied a little bit too hard, but that's really nice. TNC, they just go around and grab an easy kill and they get out. And Execration, they just can't get there in time because it just happened way too quickly. And also, one thing to note, Execration's ward vision. They have one ward here, and that's it. There's no river vision, there's no jungle vision.
Oh, they have one more. In the mid
lane.
Oh,
where's that one more? Oh, in the mid lane.
Yes.
That one there. But it's not really helpful though. Those wards, it shows them a little bit of rotation, but it's not like anything in the jungle, not even any defensive wards for themselves, and no Roche ward. And unfortunately, the fact that they had no Roche ward meant that TNC gets a free Roshan, and this is the second one of the game.
Who will pick it up though? It's gonna be Couchor in the end, who is also plenty beefy by now. Just look at the item choices. Has a drums, SNY as well, 1.6k health. It's not like Execration have that much damage, definitely not in burst. They really need the Bristleback Quill Sprays to start stacking up, but Bristleback himself hasn't gotten any upgrades in items at all. Has had the mech, has 2k gold as well, but it's just Execration in general not finding all that much farm in Razor. Not the greatest of farmers, and that's probably like one of the reasons that Razor has also fallen off, but Execration, they're falling farther and farther behind, and they really need to get like 1, maybe even 2 great fights to just turn things around, I think.
Shadowblade on Teehee. I don't see anything wrong with this, but I guess it's okay. There's not really anything for Execration to do about it. They can't afford detection and preemptively backing up. But is he going to go down anyway to T? He come on, more right click, and that would have been him down. But unfortunately, the swipe did not come fast enough for T. So Razor gets out with his life for another day.
The damage output though is pretty sick, considering that all of that happened with like within a second and a half, or maybe 2 seconds or something like that. So just a little bit more and just hero down with 3 seconds, easy.
It was roughly 800-ish damage, 900, maybe even 1k of damage just from that couple of seconds. So it's very sad. If you think about it, the support, this Rubik would have died if it was actually him in that top lane, because he's actually got less armor as well than the Razor. So it would have been pretty sad, but at least they didn't lose any heroes. Just giving away those free kills, it really hurts Execration. And you were talking about the Razor just now. He's not popular because the Razor has to snowball, and if he doesn't snowball, he's not actually that scary as a hero. Yes, he steals your damage, but all you do is you kite him. And you would like to build damage onto him, but he needs to be survivable as well. And actually up top, looks like we are going to have Burden jumped on Teehee. Actually, Nando, he was phase shifted, and actually you're going to pop the ultimate there to keep him in place. But unfortunately, there's going to be the ultimate from our Winter Wyvern, and Burden is even going to go down as well. Actually, phase shift going to keep the puck alive for a little bit longer. They do get the Leshrac kill, and Sam H, he was going to die, but there's the earn charge from his teammates in Primo, trying to do what he can with the ultimate, but unfortunately, like we said, this Razor is just not a threat at this point. And the two supports on the side of Execration, they can't really do anything. Nando wants to try and go for another kill, but he's silenced up and he's going to have to back up. And Winter's Curse was stolen by Chemo, so he's going to heal up his friendly ally there. Aegis deployed, but Execration can't really jump on anyone.
They do really lack the damage, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, it wasn't even like that bad of a fight, or at least it didn't feel like it went that bad for them, but suddenly you realize that Execration, they've literally used every single spell that they have, and the heroes are just a little bit too healthy still on TNC. What do they steal? It's just a scream of pain at the moment for the Rubik. And TNC, they're in just strong command of this game, to be honest. They've already gotten 2 Roshians. Now they just have to wait for the third one to come up, get Aegis, get Cheese on top of that. And to be honest, if they get that advantage, I could really see them just going high ground.
They really could go high ground. They have more than enough resources to go up there and to also sustain themselves. So there's actually quite a bit of healing on TNC if you think about it. You got EU with the static percent-based healing, and also earn charges who will eventually accumulate. Plus you have a Witch Doctor who's also got earn. Oh wow, they got 2 earns on both supports, but they also have the Witch Doctor heal. So lots of sustain for TNC if they want to go high ground, whereas Execration, they have some decent high ground defense if you think about it. TNC's always going to have to worry about the puck, but the follow-up damage is really not there. Oh, Teehee.
Yeah, just having the Shadow Blade, having the safety of that invis there. Although sentries did come out now, but of course, little help or little good does it do them that they had the sentries after the hero had already disappeared from that position. But Characopter now, he's still gonna go back for the BKB as well, just to make absolutely sure they don't die. Burden though, he might be in trouble. 3 heroes close by, they get the Earthshock, there's the minus armor from the medallion, and it is gonna be a kill.
That was a very easy kill. The entire Execration draft is just on the other side of the map, so even if they tried to TP in, they would not have been able to save the Bristleback under any circumstance. So that's going to be the first T2 tower actually being taken down by TNC. So it's going to be a nice injection of gold going their way. I'm curious to see if they want to keep pushing up to high ground, or if they want to keep on taking the T2s first. And Noji just going to be there with the rockets to kind of keep the puck in place.
The rocket can be one of the more annoying spells, although yeah, it's only a little one. Charcopter has just chosen to go for stats instead. But we have some pretty key pickups. Blink Dagger on AO now on the Winter Wyvern. Plus, of course, a Basher coming out on the Ursa. And last time we did see like Razor barely managing to TP out. Next time around might not be the case with just the lucky Bash coming in.
You have 6 attacks to get a Bash on Teehee, and if he gets lucky, he might just be blessed and always get a Bash. We'll have to see. I love seeing Bash RNG when it comes to TPing out. I got so lucky, I think it was a couple of days ago, I was against an anti-mage, and I would TP in front of his face every time, and the Bashes just wouldn't happen. But we'll see. RNG's this. Will you bless Teehee?
Well, he got the first hit Bash.
Oh my
Oh,
god, I jinxed it.
it was
Oh my
literally
goodness.
just first hit bash coming out. Oh, they're gonna get Burden as well. Burden, why did you go in like that? Call down to follow. Death Ward as well. Just no chance in hell. Noji. I think it wasn't even Glimmer Cape there. Chemo. He's probably the next one to fall here. He's just
What a
trying to
career!
outrun them, but they even lose a courier. Just insult to injury.
The courier just walked into all the heroes like, hey guys, can I join the... Then, well, that's a very sad courier. I'm not too sure if it was delivering something because there was nothing on it, or maybe it just delivered the item, died in the process, and... Or maybe it could have gone to the secret shop. It was going in that direction, but still a sad day for couriers. First courier death of this best of 5.
I can't help but get the feeling that this game is pretty much over by now. Oh, can they get more kills? No, Yule Scepter is there, delaying things out, but they get the silence on Nando. Sonic Wave does miss due to the Yule Scepter. So a little bit preemptive from Sam H there, just pulling the trigger like that, but you get the kill on Leshrac. They're not gonna break high ground yet, and also they lose a 10-second BKB charge on Noji. But just look at the graphs. 20,000 net worth lead by now, XP, pretty much the same story. There is like a tiny chance of a comeback, but it involves TNC just screwing up big time.
If I feel like it would just have to be TNC 2 times like Execration did, and Execration not losing any heroes. I feel that they would have to screw up that badly for Execration to come back into the game, because their draft, their hero pool just doesn't allow for them to come back easily. And if the game goes late, they don't have a chance. Because this Razor's never going to get items, or enough items to justify his existence as a hero. Because essentially he's just a static link bot, and that's it. He just doesn't give his team anything else.
Yeah, it's not only the Razor, it's also the Bristleback, just as you can see, not farming all that great at the moment. I mean, although Bristleback can farm reasonably fast, I suppose, it's mostly when you like have stacks made beforehand by the supports, especially the Ancients, just use a Quill Spray to get rid of them. But they didn't make those preparations, or even if they did, it's probably like TNC coming in, winning a fight, stealing them. Oh, well, Teehee on the hunt once more, but Shadow Blade will expire before he can get close enough. So they're not gonna find anybody, but it's not even that big of a deal, man. Looking at the buyback status, does anybody on the Radiant have it? Only the Puck.
Oh, Fox gonna be jumped on in the middle of the lane. Unfortunately, that's already gonna be the last track down. Burden as well as Primo gonna be kept in place by the Winter's Curse. 2 heroes are down. Chemo's gonna be the next one. Primo gonna be his best friend as well in the grave. Nando, he's got the Dream Coil down, but that's not gonna save his teammate. No, all of a sudden the Puck is by himself. Blink is off cooldown though, so he can always get out if he wants to. Oh, well, silence for silence, but still. TNC, they lose nobody, they grab 4 heroes, and now they're going to go for a T3 Tower plus Raxes. And they could pretty much just go top Raxes as well, because there's no buyback on Execration, and even if they do come back, they just can't fight into TNC.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen, to be honest, at this point in time. So TNC did manage to just tie up the series, and they had a fast game as well, 30 minutes in. A really dominant showing, I have to say. So Execration, they're gonna have to think of something else other than, I guess, a Bristleback Razor combination. But this game might not even be over yet. I mean, Execration, do they really feel like they have a chance here, or are they just delaying things out to try to just think of strategies for the next game?
This is courier guerrilla warfare, because we had Nando almost trying to kill the enemy courier. Sonic Wave going to be used, but he's already phase shifted, so Nando's going to be home free. Noji, they're going to be chased up by all of those heroes. Teehee trying to get out because he already has used the Enrage, but Noji's in the front line, still finishing off heroes. Razor's down, Burden's down, and that's the GG call from Execration. We are a 1-1 scenario between Execration versus TNC in this best of 5 series.
So we're back in a situation that we're gonna have a minimum of 2 more games. So fun times, to be honest, and some people actually like to think of it as if a best of 5 gets tied up 1-1, it suddenly becomes a best of 3. Well, in a sense at least.
Best of 3. Maybe, but we could see quite a few games if both teams play exactly perfect games for themselves. We could be in for a very close best of 5. Because these teams, I want to say they're equal in skill. It's just the moment that one of them gets momentum, they never lose it. But I feel like this was a draft issue for Execration. If they had a more versatile draft or a draft that could capitalize on more of an advantage, then maybe it could have been a closer game. But TNC, they took this game very convincingly, especially after those two complete team wipes in that mid lane.
Certainly so, but guys, we are done now with game number 2. The series is tied up 1-1 each. So we're gonna go into game number 3. Probably lobby is already full. There might be once again like a 5-minute break, we'll see. But hopefully you've enjoyed the casting and the game so far. If you have, you can check out HeflaTV on Facebook and Twitter, of course. Plus follow the casters at Couchor for me, at Daneliecasts for my co-caster. Both of those names are also in the title on our Twitch channel here. And if you type !caster, you can see them as well. But with this, guys, see you back for game number 3.